Part 5. Not Alone.
No, what, Maggie?
Paige asked.
There's something in the closet,
Maggie said hesitantly. Paige felt her hand gently shaking as it always does when she's scared, and her eyes started to water.
Yeah, Maggie. There's lots of stuff in the closet. Jump ropes, hula hoops, volleyballs,
Paige replied.
No, I mean, someone,
Maggie said with a whisper, as if she didn't want anyone to hear. Paige's eyes grew wide, and she pictured in her mind the pair of eyes she saw peering through the window. Their conversation was cut short by the PE whistle. "Third grade, it's time to play Sharks and Minnows," Mr. Alfaro said. After PE, it wasn't long until it was lunchtime. Paige and Maggie couldn't wait to sit down and talk. The school used one side of the gym as the cafeteria, with lunch tables along one wall. It was the same location as the mysterious gym closet. They both sat down at the end of the table, away from their classmates.
Paige, your painting was of you, the closet, the eyes, and a basketball. I wanted to ask if you experienced the same thing I did, but I was too scared,
Maggie said.
So the voice from the closet was talking to you too? This is so crazy. It can't be real, can it?
Paige said.
I'm not sure what to think, Paige, but tomorrow it's my turn to go to the preschool again and bring 'em treats,
Maggie said.
Oh no, you can't go alone. What can we do?
Paige asked.
We'll just have to wait and see what happens,
Maggie said. The next day, Mrs. Ettner called Maggie up to get treats ready to bring down to the preschoolers. "Today we have a few boxes of animal crackers to deliver, and I think you might need help, Maggie," Mrs. Ettner said. Maggie immediately exclaimed,
Paige, can Paige help me, please?
Mrs. Ettner replied. "Of course she can. You two may head down now." Maggie and Paige made it across the school and walked through the gym without a problem. Once they got to the preschool hallway that was connected to the gym, they dropped off the boxes of animal crackers. They approached the doors to enter the gym once again, and that's when Paige looked at Maggie and said,
"We can do this, Maggie."
Maggie then opened the door, and they walked in. Part 6. Curiosity. Maggie and Paige were in the gym, and they began to walk towards the exit. Everything was completely silent, and the girls were ready for whatever might happen. The gym ceiling was lined with rows of lights that illuminated the room. Then all of a sudden, each row of lights shut off one by one until there was only one row of lights left on. The girls stopped walking, and that's when they heard laughter from the closet behind them. They turned to look, and the closet door slowly opened wide, exposing the darkness of the closet inside.
Paige, Maggie, it's no fun being in this closet all alone,
the voice said.
It's not so scary in here. Come and see for yourself.
Maggie replied with a stutter.
That sounds like a horrible idea.
She was afraid, but having Paige there with her was a big help.
Yeah, why would we ever do that?
Paige asked. Her stomach felt like it was turning, and her hand was shaking.
Paige, don't you want to come and see my special basketball? Here,
the voice said. A basketball bounced and rolled out of the closet. Maggie looked at Paige. Maggie was in shock and couldn't move. Paige stepped towards the closet door and the basketball.
Paige, what are you doing? Stop!
Maggie exclaimed.
I'm not afraid,
Paige said.
This is not a good idea. We need to leave now,
Maggie said. Paige's hand began to shake even more.
Paige, it's okay. Don't worry about Maggie. She doesn't want to play, the voice said.
Paige walked closer to the closet. Sweat drips from her forehead. Maggie was in disbelief that Paige would move anywhere near the closet, so she moved forward and grabbed Paige's arm. Paige's hand was trembling, and she knew they should leave, but Paige was a curious girl.
Let's go. Let's get out of here, Paige,
Maggie pleaded.
Paige looked at Maggie and said, You're right. We have to go, but how will we ever know what all of this is if we don't go and see?
Paige asked.
Paige, we can't take this risk. We are leaving now,
Maggie demanded. Then a wind blew from the closet, and the voice yelled out,
If you won't come in here, then I will come and get you.
Although Maggie was in a panic, she thought to herself, "It smells like Bosco sticks." The girls were about to run when they heard the door across the gym open. Part 7, A Sighting. The moment that the door opened across the gym, the closet door slammed shut. Mr. Alfaro walked into the gym and looked at the girls. Their hair was a bit messy, and the frantic looks on their faces made it look like the girls had just gotten off of a scary roller coaster ride. Mr. Alfaro had a confused look on his face and asked, "Are you girls okay?" Paige couldn't find the words to speak, but Maggie quickly responded,
Yes, perfect. We're doing fine, Mr. Alfaro.
"Okay, well, that's good. Were you girls in the closet?" he asked.
The closet? No, why would we go in there?
Maggie replied. "I'm almost certain I heard the closet door shut when I walked in," said Mr. Alfaro. Paige finally calmed down and was able to let out some words.
We brought treats down to the preschool and we were just heading back to our classroom, she said.
That's when Mr. Alfaro asked, "Does she ask for you often?" His question made the girls feel unsettled. Paige's hand began to gently shake again.
She? Who are you talking about, Mr. Alfaro?
Maggie asked hesitantly. "Oh, you know Maggie, Mrs. Etner. How often does she ask for you two girls to come down here?" Mr. Alfaro asked.
"A few times a year. I think we need to go back now,"
Maggie replied. Paige and Maggie began to walk away, and Mr. Alfaro said, "I'll see you girls later." The two moved towards the exit when they heard the closet door open again. It was only Mr. Alfaro. He pulled a cart of basketballs out of the closet. The lights were still off in the closet, and Maggie suddenly tugged on Paige's arm.
"Paige, look at the window,"
Maggie said with fear in her voice. Paige slowly turned back to look, and she let out a big gasp. Part 8, In the Window.
"Is that me?"
Paige asked as she looked at the window of the gym closet door. In the window was the face of a girl whose eyes were glaring at Maggie and Paige. The girl looked exactly like Paige, but her face was faded and slightly see-through.
"I don't... No, that's not you, Paige," Maggie said sternly.
The exit of the gym door was right behind the two girls, and although Paige's eyes were caught in a trance looking at the window, she slowly walked backwards towards the exit and tried to reach for the doorknob. Mr. Alfaro, who was standing right outside the closet door, looked at his two third-grade students and asked, "Do you girls need something? I thought you were heading back to class." Paige stumbled over her words and said,
"Yes, wait, no, we are going back."
Suddenly, Maggie interjected and yelled out,
"Mr. Alfaro, there's something in the closet, right behind the door!"
Mr. Alfaro quickly turned his head to look, and when he did, he saw nothing except for some PE equipment. "Maggie, I'm not sure what's going on, but it's time for you girls to go," he said. Maggie was frantic and said,
"No, I'm not kidding, there's..."
That's when Paige grabbed her arm and said,
"Maggie, let's just go. Mrs. Etner's waiting for us."
Maggie looked at Paige with deep concern in her eyes, but the girls left the gym and talked as they walked to class.
"Maggie, I know I've been so curious to know what's in the closet, but you were right. We should just try to stay away from it as much as we can,"
Paige said.
"I'm not so sure, Paige. Maybe we should keep trying to figure this out, so no one has to go through what we're going through." "Do you think anyone has?"
Maggie asked.
Paige replied, "I don't know. Maybe not. I guess we'll just have to wait and see if that girl or whatever that thing is tries to bother us again."